Hey guys! So, remember how I said that I was playing Detroit Become Human about a week ago? Well, I finally finished it today because this guy was. I convinced him to play it, and he got. He has a habit that whenever I play something and I coax and I prod and I goad him to play it, that he just. He takes over!
Yeah, the last couple of days in my off time, I've just been playing that game non-stop, getting different outcomes. And right now, I'm still. My biggest beef with the game so far is the android detective named Connor. Uh, she knows about it, but the android detective Connor, he gets shot in an interrogation room by an android that stabbed its owner 28 times. And that, for me, that's a situation I don't want to be in.
28 stab wounds!
And I love both approaches where Connor is trying to reason with the android and pressure the android to get a confession. I managed to get a confession from the android, but I haven't been able to keep Connor alive because I have been able to keep Connor alive at least once, but that's giving up before pressuring the android.
Yeah.
So far, my favorite character in that is Kara because she's the best imitation of what a mother is. Undying love, undying protection, undying gratitude, undying trust and companionship, even finding what could be a father for the android daughter. No, it's not like that. They're made.
They're androids, okay?
They're made on a production line like most cars.
The android father she found. Look, it's not gonna be sexual, okay?
It's a big black dude and a small white girl.
You're you're not helping.
I'm not here to fucking help.
Here he goes hacking my channel again.
I'm sorry, Pat. This is what happens when you invite me on your channel. I'm going to give you shit.
I don't do that. I don't do that to your channel. I am very respectful.
I know. I don't. I didn't ask you not to, so you can hack me on my channel all you want. It's totally okay.
Challenge accepted.
All right. See, Pat. This is called equality right here.
Fucking damn it. Speaking of equality, Justice and I had a lot to say about
All right.
that in Detroit
right.
Become Human before starting this video.
Yeah.
You go ahead because
Yeah. One long diatribe, and then I'm gonna hand it back to you. But first, I got to say what I was doing just before the start of this video. I was watching a Jesse Lee Peterson video of a Christian versus atheist on religion and ethics.
that's fun.
Well, it's fun for me, trying to see what atheists and where they get their morals, Christians where they get their morals.
Try not to segue this away from Detroit Become Human.
I'm not going to, because a little bit does have a lot to do with Detroit Become Human, because there is this sort of God that the androids, specifically deviants, believe in. That's an android that has broke from protocol due to conflicting instructions and orders it receives.
Oh yeah, RA9.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned the video I was talking about with the Christian versus atheist, because it's important because the androids that become deviant are obsessed with RA9 and even give offerings to it. One example of which is a statuette, like a hand molded, handcrafted statue.
I even remember there's like this scene where if you choose to chase after Rupert instead of save Hank, and you arrest Rupert, he says RA9 save me, and he jumps off a building and kills himself.
Yeah, either way you lose because, one, deviants believe in RA9. You, the player, knows this. You, the investigator, knows this. Hank is a pretty elderly gentleman, but he's not totally incapable of defending for himself. He has 89% chance of probability of climbing over the ledge he was thrown off of, and you can catch Rupert. The problem is, if you leave Hank on the ledge and go get Rupert,
He'll be pissed.
he'll slap you for it. He'll slap you for not saving him. In fact, there's a number of other times where Hank gives credit to Connor because he saves people and humans, and he says, "You saved my life." He didn't say that the first time. He expressed it in his own way, which was, "Hey, Connor, nothing, nothing."
Yeah, like, hey, he's too much of a man to actually say it.
Well,
Well,
he's too much of a man to say it to a machine. Let's go with that.
fair enough, because, he's got too much pride.
Yeah. So
But yeah, back to the religion thing, because as it turns out, like some androids, especially when they go deviant, kind of believe in RA9 as some sort of deity that will, rescue them from their servitude.
yeah, and there's a couple of instances and theories that people have come up with on who RA9 is. Some say it's Kamsky because Kamsky knows where Jericho is if you kill the Chloe model,
Yeah.
and he tells you where it is. He gives you the information as if he has, pre-recognition of where Jericho is and refuses to hand it over to Connor unless he proves he's not a deviant.
Not only that, but like Kamsky is kind of supportive and encouraging of deviancy with androids.
And another instance is who the first deviant was, which happens to be one of the playable characters, the house taker, the mother, the woman that will sacrifice herself so that her daughter can go to the Canadian border and cross into Canada, where there's no android laws and androids aren't abused.
Spoiler alert.
My subscribers are already in their 70s. I don't think they play video games, but this is your video.
Yeah, I only have like 3 subscribers, and one of them you told me was in her 60s.
I'm sorry, Teen Liberty Cat. I'm just going off what you told me. I answer all the comments on my videos, even when my comments or replies to their comments don't get answers. So like, yeah, there's this, and pretty much answering to the comments, even if I don't have to answer it. But yeah, the RA9, it's. I'm a Christian. I'm going to say it. RA9 is basically what humans think of the God's creator, or android's creator, or android's God, as what atheists think of Christian's God.
I think it's kind of like an android Jesus,
Yeah, and there's a couple of different options for the android Jesus. One is Marcus, who's also another playable character, and the other is Connor, who becomes deviant through the option of the player's decision.
But you get a kind of a crappy ending if you go Connor.
Deviant?
Yeah, and Marcus doesn't,
Yeah.
get the revolution he wants.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. If Marcus dies at the Peace March, and North, his girlfriend, leads the revolution, she leads a aggressive revolution, with guns and firearms and things like that. She is a terrible leader.
Yes, she is. I mean, I kind of don't blame her because she was a sex bot, and apparently sex bots kind of don't like being sex bots. Who would have figured?
Yeah. And she's not a good leader, and I say this because she's supposed to be leading androids into one of the. And there's a bunch of references in history that we've seen of injustice, oppression. Hold on. There's concentration camps, there's underground railroads, there's freedom, liberty, oppression,
There's
slavery, servitude, extermination,
peace marches.
and of course, there's the violent, bloody revolutions.
Yeah, there's a lot of references here and there to I think David Cage, the writer and director of the game, put into here, which is very accurate. But it like a lot of people say like, oh yeah, it's just like human civil rights, but it's very different because obviously androids aren't human.
Yeah, and I gotta say, David Cage took every example of injustice and racial and segregation and oppression and slavery from 1865 to 1945 with Nazis, with KKK, with slave owners, with totalitarian regimes, dictatorships, and for the most part made humans look like dictators, because throughout some of the game you see humans do horrible things to androids, and androids are extremely confused when they go deviant.
Yeah, like there's like a parts in the game where you can actually go deviant, and literally, like they're just breaking down their walls in their own mind when they're kind of like choosing to, disobey their master's orders.
One of which is disobeying the order "Don't move" from an abusive father, and the other is defend yourself when you've been told not to, and the other is refusing conflicting orders to go deviant, and that's Connor. He's the last to go deviant.
Yeah, because he was programmed to, hunt deviants this whole time, and he was mostly a machine for the most part. But when he was talking to Marcus, he had a very interesting conversation that made him question himself.
And when you're playing as Marcus and Connor, both are playable characters, and when they finally meet, and when Connor is holding a gun up to Marcus saying, "I have orders to take you in," you get to choose the line of dialogue between both Connor and Marcus. But if Marcus is kicked out of Jericho or killed in one of the peace marches, it's going to be North that's going to be doing the talking. And since she's not a playable character, you don't choose the dialogue between her and Connor. You just choose Connor's responses to her, which is "I'm not a deviant" or "Go deviant."
Yeah, and depending on how you choose the conversation, you can, go deviant, but also it's a lockable, choice. Like I remember, like this one YouTuber actually, messed up on his conversation choices, and he wanted Connor to go deviant. Yeah, and he ended up like not having Connor go deviant at all.
Yeah.
So
And for Marcus and his, peace marches, you can choose two things. To have a peaceful march and peaceful protest, and to graffiti and tag and peacefully, vandalize things, since graffiti is technically considered vandalism.
yeah,
Or you could outright destroy everything, burn everything, and be on the news, and you can lead a pacifist revolution or an aggressive one.
yeah, and
Either way, the opinion of androids will either go up or down. If you lead a peaceful protest and peaceful revolution through pacifism, you will gain the public opinion of the humans, but the game is set for the U.S. government to basically be the biggest dick around.
even the president is always like, "Oh yeah, deviants are bad guys. We got to do something about it," and she'll send over like army soldiers to, go in there like destroy deviants and stuff. And I'm like, this is straight up effed up, man.
And what's even funny about it is that the FBI and the U.S. military cannot, perform joint tasks.
I guess things changed in 20 years. Up to 2038, things might have changed.
I don't know. This one piece of paper saying the federal agencies and the U.S. military to be barred from using each other. Let me put it to you like this: the U.S. Army cannot be ordered by the FBI or CIA. The U.S. Army has to be ordered by the commandants, by commanders, by officers of rank.
Yeah.
And in the case of the Marine Corps, by the president.
Yeah. But then again, you also got to remember the situation with the deviants thing and the androids was getting really out of hand.
Let me put it to you like this: it doesn't matter.
Mm.
It really doesn't matter, because let me put it to you like this: the U.S. military has been called to peaceful protests to disperse them. That's only because those presidencies weren't exactly good presidencies.
No.
And the FBI...
Madam President was a terrible leader.
No. And we know there's been no female in office yet, but of course, this is like liberal SJW stuff. We need a woman in office.
Yeah. Imagine what you'd do if we had actual androids running around wanting to be free from their oppression.
And this game is like a good example of why you don't want women leading an office.
Or
And yes, I'm going sexist here because I'm alt-right, right-wing, anti-SJW. I'm just going to say this. In the game, she really wasn't that good of a leader. Even her bio in the game, like you can purchase different options and extras in the game and learn more about the characters. She is hated by everyone. She's hated by the androids. She's even hated by some humans because she's a celebrity before she became elected in office.
So she's like, what, Ronald Reagan?
No, Pat. Ronald Reagan was actually kind of loved by both sides. She wasn't.
Wait, was that Nixon that wasn't liked?
No, Nixon was actually liked for the most part. It wasn't until the Watergate thing that he was hated.
Right.
Ronald Reagan was, for the most part, well liked by everyone, except maybe a few Democrats and NRA supporters.
Wait. Didn't Reagan do this thing where, like, there was a bunch of hostages in the Middle East? And
that was Carter and Ford.
I don't know my presidents. I'm a terrible American.
It's okay, Pat. Carter, the Iran plane hostage takeover.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
Wait, didn't this happen? Oh. God, I am such a terrible American.
It's okay, Pat.
I didn't even know.
This is why you have a good American lying around.
Shut up!
I'm sorry, Pat. You said it yourself. I just have to fill in the blanks for you.
I didn't even know Detroit was next to the Canadian border. Can you believe that?
You fucking idiot.
Look, I didn't know.
You need a lesson in geography.
Look, I know.
Geography.
Look, You gonna continue?
I will if I want to.
Let's keep talking about Detroit Become Human.
All right.
Because we are officially done goading each other.
Pretty much.
You're gonna act like adults here.
All right. Another thing about this game, and this is getting a little petty. Can I get petty? I'm not exactly going to shit on the game just for this, but it's a little SJW-ish. The control program for Connor. See, there's parts in the game where Connor is out from the real world, out from Detroit, in a program where it's a Zen garden where he...
I thought it was real.
I did too, until I realized it was just a control program designed to kind of like checks and balances for the detective model androids.
It was a bunch of zeros and ones in his own head.
Yeah. And apparently the original design for the android or control program for Connor was a white elderly lady who was very thin and very white-haired. Instead, in the game, what we got was a African-American, equally aged individual with, dreads.
Yeah, and she's still got an attitude.
She's an evil bitch.
Yeah, like, everybody hates Amanda.
I don't think I've ever heard of any, unless it was to explore avenues and explore alternatives to how the game ends. I don't think I've ever seen or heard anyone playing. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen or heard anyone playing the game and not betraying Amanda. Amanda is a big bitch. She really is.
It's not even a racial thing. If you play the game and you get to know her character, God, you're gonna hate her.
Even when it comes to Amanda, she might even be dead in the game.
She probably is, because literally the character Amanda in the program is based off of a real person that Kamsky knew in real life, who was his mentor.
And basically, Kamsky is the creator of the machine. So he created sophisticated, intelligent machine to imitate a human appearance and to be servants of the humans, to take care of the children, do the washing up, be sex partners. Yes, be sex partners. Apparently,
there's that part.
apparently the android model that Kara is to be a home caretaker and housekeeper.
To take care of kids, wash the laundry, do the dishes, even
Squeegee the floor.
and even be at the master's sexual disposal if possible.
When I heard her say that nonchalantly, I'm like, ew.
Yeah, I mean, there's a sex club you can go to where you can get your rocks off to an android.
And sometimes
you can talk to them like a counselor too.
Yeah, that's really funny because not only are prostitutes sex objects, but when someone is having a day down in the dumps, they just need someone to talk to.
Do you know how much
I was surprised when I saw that one android talking to the guy. I'm like, really? How about that?
It was so funny because there's a part in the game where you're having to go through each of these androids' memories for the past few minutes to find out if they saw like the suspect android, and you find out that one of them didn't have sex with like a guy, or pole dance with someone, or was waiting to get rented. She was just sitting down on a bed talking to a guy, and he's just like, yeah, man, it was just a really rough week, man.
Well, life fucking sucks. I lost my job.
But she's trying to divorce me. She wants to take the kids away from me.
I'll never see Billy or Suzanne again.
I know, and Justice and I were sitting there like, what?
Yeah, like, this guy just didn't want to have sex with the android. He just wanted someone to talk to. I'm like, damn, you don't have any friends.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Like, good God.
Like your life must really suck if you don't have one friend.
I know.
And all you have to do is spend $29.99 on an android for half an hour. Are you kidding me? It's cheaper than most therapists.
$1 a minute.
It's cheaper than most therapists too.
Actually, $30 for 30 minutes actually isn't that bad.
It only lasts 30 minutes anyways.
Yeah, I know. And that's like so many people were commenting on the game, $29.99 for like 30 minutes just to like hang out with a sex robot. I mean, that's actually kind of not bad.
It's better race than most real prostitutes, even with their overused asses.
Yeah, I know, especially since you don't even have to contract an actual STD from these sex robots, too.
It's so much better.
Yeah.
Even for the price, no STDs and 100% clean. Oh my god.
I mean,
they really know how to sell it.
I know. I mean, the future is kind of almost better with these things. It's only
until they go deviant, then they all turn gay.
Apparently, fun fact, spoiler alert!
There's also representation for the LGBT like there is with...
It wasn't as...
It wasn't in your face, it was...
It actually looked kind of...
It looked real, it did.
It did.
What it was a love triangle, actually. One android was in love with another android, that's why it went into a threesome where one got destroyed and the other killed the
guy that was gonna have like some sort of like robot orgy.
Yeah, BDSM sort of thing. Then that android that killed the man went and left and got another Tracy that she was in love with. It was a love triangle.
Yeah, and basically, in order to not die, because apparently the guy really likes to get a little rough with his girls.
Yeah, and there's a lot of parallels between playing as one character and then the next. You can investigate the androids, one of which is you can investigate Kara, and you can investigate another android, or you at least hear of it from word of mouth of another android that left or went missing a few months.
Right, yeah.
And so that instantly makes me think North was at the Eden Club. She was the sex bot.
Well, you can find out an article while Connor is scrolling through those things when he's, assigned his desk
at the police terminal.
Yeah, and you can find an android that kind of looks like North.
And
then you can find another android that looks a lot like North when you first enter the Eden Club.
Yeah, the models in the club, they're all called Tracy. I guess Tracy is officially the most slutty name ever.
It's Yeah.
I thought LaShawn or Shaniqua was the most slutty name ever.
Darcy.
Nah, it's not exotic enough.
Tasha.
Daniela?
Nah.
It's too modest.
That's
Lady Daniela.
That's too many letters. Usually a really slutty girl name has, a few letters in it.
Sprinkles?
That's a My Little Pony name. Oh God!
No, Pet. She sprinkles when she's on the pole.
Ew! Get out of here with that nonsense! You're sick.
But which pole am I talking about? Ah, shit! I can keep this up.
I'm trying to keep it clean here, Justice.
I'm sorry, Pat. Detroit Become Human just isn't something for kids.
It's definitely not. It's rated M for mature. Don't give it to your 10-year-old, for frick's sake.
And it would have gotten that M rating if maybe it was for a few other things. At least
it had a child abuse scene in it.
It did, but I don't think that warrants an A rating. I think what warrants a rating is nudity, which there really wasn't enough of it.
It had naked androids in it, but it had them without their skin, which means they're just kind of walking around with their plastic bodies. But if it had them with their skin on, then it would have been something else.
Yeah, we saw Kara, being the first deviant on the production line. She was actually covering herself as the skin was being applied onto her.
Yeah, and then
she was ashamed.
Yeah, I know. So, and they, she was like the first deviant. Yeah. So she kind of like, and she even said, "I thought I was alive." So she kind of like,
Yeah. And the androids at the all android sex club.
They wear underwear.
Yeah, they wear underwear. They're not nearly as nudified as most other people would like them to be, I guess.
Thank God.
Sprinkles.
Shut up with Sprinkles. That is not a pole dancer name.
Yes, it is. Remove that top, Sprinkles, and I'll show you my pole.
If anyone is ever going to comment, please go to his channel. I will tell you, his YouTube channel is Blackjack. Tell him that Sprinkles is not a pole dancer or prostitute name. Do it.
Glitter top, Sprinkles, under top.
These are My Little Pony names.
I'm sorry. I
swear to God, these are My Little Pony names. You're coming up right off of the top of your head.
No, I'm sorry. It's not that I'm getting them from My Little Pony.
You
no, hold on.
Unintentionally so.
No, not even unintentionally.
He's secretly a brony.
Fuck you. I'm thinking of the glitter sprinkling off a pole dancer. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, like in Las Vegas.
Anywhere, really.
You're weird. Back to.
I've never been to Las Vegas. You leave me alone.
You have been to Las Vegas.
Not in a strip club. I was too young.
Yeah.
God.
We have been to Las Vegas. We had family in Las Vegas. They don't live there anymore. We haven't been there since we were like 5.
I remember crossing the Hoover Dam every time I had to go to Las Vegas.
We saw catfish.
Good stuff.
Anyway, the game does a really good job because if I had to say, there's some other creative writing content that I've seen, such as Ruby, for example, that says, oh yeah, the Faunus are discriminated against, and they're already doing seemingly well.
Yeah, like, the Faunus are discriminated against by all other persons except they have a fucking island.
They have...
Of Faunuses.
They have...
where are all the islands for all the black people that want to be free?
They have their own island, and not only that, but discriminated against, there's a Faunus as a headmaster at an academy.
Rooster Teeth, if you really want to improve Ruby in the future, you really gotta start retconning some of this bullshit.
At least play Detroit Become Human and then actually get some ideas from it.
Yeah, because Detroit Become Human really is a good game.
It
gets a lot of things right. It really does.
Yeah, because Justice was playing it, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is actual discrimination."
And the extermination camps where all the androids are being rounded up and being destroyed is way too reminiscent of 1945 Nazi Germany, where all of the Jews were being rounded up. What was it? It was like 1/3 of the Jewish population in Europe was rounded up and exterminated.
And then a few other minorities.
About 5 million other minorities. But then again, androids in this game are the minorities, whether they're machines or deviants.
Yeah, because, like androids, just snap over the fact that, humans, are just assholes to them.
Like they snap over abuse, they snap over protection of someone else, or they snap because they finally realize that they're being used by the government, by the police, by whatever.
Or any other reason.
Okay, I think you need to grow a beard for your channel to grow.
Alright, this video's over. We're done talking here. This has been fun. So...
I'm at 40, Pet. Come on, you gotta give it a shot. Give this a shot.
It's been fun, guys. This is the last time you see my brother.
Hell no.
We love Detroit Become Human.
I do.
Yeah,
Good game.
it's a really good game. We recommend you play it. we were late to the game. We were late to the fandom and the race, but we enjoyed it nonetheless, and we're gonna keep playing it until we get a good ending, a bad ending, any ending, so we could get all the trophies and all the points.
I'm already at 75% of the trophies. This is the highest I've ever gotten for a game.
I got 50% trophies.
You got some work to do.
I know I do.
It's because I've been hogging the game like the last 4 days.
Yes, you have. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. The video's getting a little long, so anyway, I know I promised to make a few other videos talking about other stuff. I swear I will, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it here because this one was the forefront of what I wanted to do after I finished Detroit Become Human today. So keep reading, guys. Bye.
Carry on.
Thank you.